Hey guys, so it sounds like we're having a little bit of trouble with doing these backwards. I just wanted to make a quick video to give you an idea of what's happening and to help you out a little bit, okay? Basically what you did yesterday with the unit circle was you practiced going forward. So if I told you what the angle was, could you tell me what the sine of that angle is? Okay, if I told you what the angle is, could you tell me what the tangent is? This time you're going to go backwards, okay? So this time I'm going to tell you what the sine is. You're going to tell me pi over 3, okay? So if I look at pi over 3, remember you can count. This is why we spent this time counting. So pi over 3 is going to be 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, which is the same as pi over 3. What is the sine? So what is the y value there? Well, the y value there is at root 3 over 2. Okay, this time I'm going to say, hey, when is the sine root 3 over 2? What angle is that? Okay, and you're going to tell me pi over 3. The problem is that there's actually two answers every time. And so if you look, let me get my highlighter. The sine is root 3 over 2. So the sine is positive root 3 over 2 here as well as over here. And so your two answers are going to be 60 degrees and 120 degrees, okay? All right, let's go do another one, okay, and see what it looks like. So it could look like this, the cosine with this little -1 symbol, and then it says -1/2. So when is the cosine? This just means you're doing the opposite, the inverse. When is the cosine? -1/2, okay? So here's why I showed you the whole short side, long side thing. If I want my x value to be -1/2, then I want it to be the short side. And I know that my x is going to be negative over here in these two quadrants, okay? Quadrant number 2 and quadrant number 3. So when I look, when the x is -1/2, I see one here and I see one down here. So the short side. And so that answer is going to be 120, or it's going to be 240. Now you're going to be doing like multiple choice. You're going to have to look for one of these two answers. Of course, it could also be in terms of pi. And so if you just count pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi, this is 4 pi over 6, which is the same as 2/3 pi, or 2 pi over 3. 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi. This is also 8 pi over 6, which is the same as 4 pi over 3. Okay, let's do another one. When is the sine -root 3 over 2? So when is the y value the longer side of the triangle? Okay, so my y value is going to be negative in quadrants 3 and 4. And again, I want it to be the longer side. And so I'm looking for these angles that are down here. So it's either 240 and 300 or 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Okay. All right, let's get a little bit hairier. When is the tangent -1? So remember, tangent is going to be opposite over adjacent, y over x, sine over cosine. They're all going to give you the same answer. When is the tangent -1? Well, it's going to be when you have one positive and one negative, and one positive and one negative. So at either 135 or 315. Okay. All right. What about this one? When is the inverse cosine going to equal -root 3 over 2? So I want the longer side, and it's going to be one of these two angles. When is the inverse sine a +1/2? So I want my y to be the short side, and it's going to be one of these two angles. Okay? I hope that helps a little bit. Let me go reset your quizzes for you.